Hello and welcome to UMATA. Who matters? UMATA. Today we're going to talk about the subject, which is the frustration is real. Frustration is so real. Anger can be so real. I'm going to be real with you guys. I get mad as hell a lot. I'm going to be honest. You need to understand that if there's any aspect of your life that you're going to change, if there's any aspect of anything that you're going to change, it's going to have to be different than what it was before. If I have a car and I want it to be faster, I have to change the engine structurally. I have to add a turbo. The car, after you add the turbo, isn't the same anymore. It can't run the same gasoline, or at least you can't drive it the same way. If you have a turbo, cars don't necessarily run as well when it's cold outside when you start it, things of that nature. The same, unfortunately, is true for you. Actually, it's true for anything. You could say the same for building a house. I want to change my house so that it's nicer inside. Well, okay, that means you're going to have to take a hammer to a lot of stuff. You're going to have to knock it down, and when it's done, all that stuff's going to be removed. And that's going to happen to you. If there's any area of your life that you want to better or improve, you have to understand now, like right now, today, that you're going to be fundamentally different once that outcome is achieved. If something changes, it's going to be fundamentally different than whatever it was before. And unfortunately for the human mind is very pliable. The human mind changes and can change a lot very quickly. But the brain does not change happily. The brain doesn't like to change itself easily, if that makes sense. The brain only changes under immediate stress. Now, you could say that about other areas of the body, muscle, heck, even bone density. That's the brain. Whenever the brain has stress on it, it gets irritated. The brain is a funny thing. The frustration that you feel with when you're changing or working on something intellectually or some area, what it is actual pain. There's studies that show that thinking, when you look at pain sensors in the brain, whether you get a bruise or you fall or you hurt yourself, when you're learning something in school, the number of brain neurons that are feeling pain is actually higher than in a physical injury. Learning something is actually painful for the brain to have to process. And you have to get a hold of that and understand that when you're frustrating, whenever you're getting frustrated, maybe I'm getting frustrated right now trying to explain myself, but when you're getting frustrated, that's a good sign. That's like when a wound is itchy, it means it's healing. When you're getting frustrated, that means your brain is having to process something differently. So the trick is to understand that you need to go towards frustration. And it's that frustration and that pain that I'm always going to talk about and give notice to on this channel whenever we're talking about, because like we had talked about before, doing anything different or improving anything different is going to take a long time. And if you're going to go down this long road of day after day, month after month, year after year stuff, you need feedback telling you, notifying you, hey, what you're doing is working. You need to have some form of connection with your feet on the ground. And that comes in the form of pain, and it comes in the form of frustration. Whenever you take a step forward and you feel pain, or you take a step forward and you feel frustration, that means your foot's on the ground and that what you're doing is correct. So I understand that things are frustrating when you're trying to get started, or maybe you have some false starts or whatever. But if you don't feel that stuff, that means you're not doing something right. So you have to go towards frustration. You need to do frustrating things. You need to do painful things. Once you get in the habit of seeking that feedback, you'll start to get addicted to it. And it's when you get that addiction that replaces the old addiction you had, whether it was the nicotine, the food, the alcohol, or whatever it was. And if you're frustrated as hell, that's the body, that's the brain telling you, I don't like this. Something's different. And it's when something's different, things change. I'm UMATA. Like, comment, subscribe. See you soon.